Well, hello there, Cancer. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are going to be doing your mid-February tarot reading. We'll take a look first at the overall energy with the oracle cards, and then we'll move to the tarot for more details about any obstacles on your path or areas of resistance, and of course, advice from Spirit. All right, so let's get into it. Let's see what we have on the horizon for you in this lovely month of February. Okay, faraway places, get ready for new horizons. Oh, wow, and Hummingbird Spirit, be here now. Okay, so you're here, but you're going. So we're going to take a look at that because these are like contradictions. Are you contradicting yourself and what it is that you truly want in a certain situation? Whether it's a relationship, a job, a career, a home, whatever it is. It's kind of like, I feel like you're kind of daydreaming that maybe the grass is greener on the other side of the fence or something like that. And having this experience of, a different relationship, a different job, a different home, a different city, whatever it is, that it would be better. It would bring you something that you feel like you're lacking at this time. But with the Hummingbird Spirit, it's about being really present where you are right now. Like, really looking at the situation that you're in with a very much of a sweetness, right? Of an energy of love instead of thinking that things are always going to be rosier over there. And I can totally relate. I mean, I'm a person that has moved at least every 2 years since I was born. I actually moved when I was 6 weeks old, and it just never stopped, right? And so I think the thing is that sometimes we can get into the energy of thinking, I'm speaking from my own experience, that if I just removed myself from this situation and went over there, it would be better. And, as a child, I always moved every 2 years. I never really had to work anything out with any of my friends or anything. There was a conflict or something came up. I just knew, well, I'll just put up with it for a little bit because we're moving anyway, so it doesn't matter. I never really kind of like took the time to really learn how to heal relationships. And so I feel like as an adult, that is something that kind of like all of a sudden catches up with you, right? It's about understanding there's something sweet about the situation you're in. I'm not saying that it's not something that you may leave eventually or may still decide to leave, but it's about looking at the situation in a loving way before you decide to take off. It's kind of interesting. This type of message has really been coming out a lot. And I think it's because Pluto has moved out of Capricorn into Aquarius, and it did that a couple of weeks ago. But it's, it was in Capricorn for 15 years, and now it's going to be in Aquarius for 20 years. So it's understanding that this is a powerful transit. And one of the things about Pluto in Capricorn, it was very much competitive. Who's better than who? It's very judgmental. And now that we're in the Aquarian energy, it's about having a sense of love and wonder about the world. The Aquarius energy is the star card in tarot, right? The Capricorn energy is the devil card. It's about feeling like things have to be a certain way, right? That work has to be hard, that relationships have to be hard. Having strict guidelines, rules, expectations, competing against one another, right? That was that Capricornian energy. Now we're in a much more of a loving energy, but I feel like as a society, not just you, Cancer, but as a society, maybe even as a globe, right? After being in 15 years of pointing fingers and comparing people, right? I mean, you think about during the Capricorn energy that we had, even like on television, okay, some of the big blockbuster shows where people were competing against each other, right? You look at like American Idol, The Voice, even Survivor, you know, all of these shows where it was really about one person competing against another person. And the audience gets to judge, right? It's not just a panel. It's like people get to judge. It was all very much a judging type of energy. And now it's kind of like how Aquarian energy is more like, how can we work together? So I think that this is almost like, I want to say, if you're resonating with this, it can be almost like a habit of always thinking that one situation is better than the other. So it's kind of like, well, I'm going to either, you know, be for this team or that team, right? We have the Super Bowl coming up here. And it's kind of like, okay, you know, what team are you rooting for, right? It's the energy of, it's kind of interesting to see where this Aquarian energy is going to take us, how it's going to help us to heal and not feeling like we always have to compete in everything, and how we can work together instead. Yeah, this is a beautiful energy. It's kind of interesting because I think it was the Libra reading was very much. So if you're dealing with a Libra, this doesn't have to be a romantic connection. But it's kind of like, if you're dealing with a Libra or you have a lot of Libra in your chart, it's very much a soulful, spiritual type of reading of allowing you to see things, yes, in a much different, I think you are being called to be one of those leaders, Cancer. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I think Libra is too, about stepping up and being some of the first to be able to step into this energy of understanding that it doesn't have to be just this way or that. Look at, you have two cards in your present energy, 2 wands and the fork in the road. Both of these are about making a decision. Am I going to go forward in this in whatever this situation is where you're possibly looking? I think I'll go to a different relationship. I think I'll look for another job. I'll move to another city. Whatever decision. I feel like you have a decision here. But it's about, before you make this decision, okay? It's taking a good look, stopping at the fork of the road, right? You're standing at the fork. You get to decide which way you want to go. But to choose out of love and not to choose out of fear, because you have the angels of the 4 directions. So whatever this decision is, whether it's a new job, new relationship, new home, whatever, it's kind of like allowing yourself to see what is sweet about each of your choices, even if it's a choice of a job that you're in and a new job, right? It's taking a look at what is the sweet nectar, and I'm saying that because that's what the hummingbird seeks, right? What is the sweet nectar of both situations, and allowing yourself to focus on what you love about the situations instead of what you don't like about the situation. Because when we're looking at what we don't like, that comes from the fear, right? And so I feel like that's what the Pluto and Capricorn energy did. It kind of put us into an energy of making decisions based on fear. Fear, I'm not going to have enough. Fear, somebody else is going to beat me out of the job or the relationship or whatever it is. Allowing yourself to see what you love about the situations before you move forward. And it doesn't mean that, once again, that you're not going to still leave a relationship or a job or whatever this situation is. Doesn't mean that you're not going to leave it, but what you're being asked to do. And I feel like it is kind of like stepping into the leadership role of inspiring other people to do the same thing. Why are you making that choice? Why are you doing it out of love, or are you doing it out of fear? Yeah, Archangel Michael is coming in. I'm telling you, you and the Libra are being asked. Look at this. 5 of Wands, 5 of Swords, right? You're putting your back to that. Look at this, right? 5 of Wands is competition. 5 of Swords is at all costs. You know, whatever it takes to do, right? And I'm not saying this is you, Cancer, but it's that energy of what we have been conditioned to be in for some time. So it's kind of like ingrained our mindset of I'm making choices out of, Who else am I going to have to beat out for that job or that relationship, that situation? You know, the sense of competition. You're ending that. You're allowing yourself to make choices from this very loving energy. Archangel Michael coming in here with the temperance energy of, you know, just really allowing yourself to make choices not based on fear. And it's so hard. I feel like it's really been so hard because we have kind of like, it's been a little bit of every man for himself, every woman for herself, right? It's every person for themselves. It's been like that. And now it's kind of like moving into, hey, wait a minute. If we work together, not against each other, but with each other, we can come to this beautiful, new, loving energy where we can all find what it is, that the sweet nectar of life, right? Yes. It's a little bit of that all or nothing kind of energy of healing that, right? That only one person can win. If you think about it, look at Survivor, American Idol, The Voice. Only one person can win. Everybody else is a loser, right? And that's not really true. Like every single person, like I don't really watch TV, but like American Idol or The Voice, I'm sure there are so many talented people on there, right? And so it's understanding, wow, you know, if all of those beautiful voices kind of, or artists worked together, what they could, you know, what they could create instead of competing against each other. Okay, so let's see what your obstacle is. Yes, look at this, Libra energy showing up. So you have the Justice card and the commitment. It's kind of like bringing balance into what it is that you want to be committed to, right? And healing something. I feel like there is a sense of wanting to heal. You know what? I really feel, Cancer, that part of it is that you have had people perhaps in your life that for one reason or another judged you, or you could have been in some type of, like say you were up for a promotion and there were 2 or 3 of you up for the promotion, or you know, it was a relationship and you know, somebody left you for somebody else, right? This sense of competition has been used to your disadvantage, right? And sometimes when that happens, when we're on not the winning side, once again, it doesn't mean that you're not a winner. It's kind of like, but when you weren't the one chosen for the promotion or the relationship or whatever it is, that puts you into a sense of, okay, then I have to even compete more. I have to either compete more or I quit, right? If it's in romance, it could have been, oh, well, that's it. Then I'm not going to be my true authentic self. Maybe I'll do what it is, you know, in order to win in love, I'll do what it takes, right? That's the 5 of Swords. Or you could have said, that's it. I'm not dealing with love relationships anymore, right? It's the all or nothing. I'll do anything to get love in my life, or I'll do nothing. I give up totally. And I feel like that's what Archangel Michael is coming in to say. Now, wait a minute. Why can't we have a little bit of balance here, right? Why is it all or nothing? Why are we throwing the baby out with the bathwater? Why can't we be committed to seeing the good, okay? The just, the beautiful, the amazing, the uniqueness of every single person, and celebrating that instead of judging the uniqueness of other people and ranking people. And I feel like Cancer, you are one of those that are helping to heal this. And you know, that healing first begins with you. Yeah, Lovers. This is a beautiful energy. You have the Judgment card. Wow. This is, oh my goodness. This is just, and then we have the 3, oh my goodness. It just, I can't even, I might as well take the whole deck. The underneath is what is available to you and what your subconscious really and truly wants. It does want, look at this, the Aquarian energy, 3 of Pentacles. does want this beautiful coming together, working together instead of competing against each other, right? And I feel as if, look at, you have the Empress, the 10 of Pentacles, the 2 of Cups, wanting something that's long-term committed, understanding that when we commit in love or any type of relationship or situation, right? It's about finding a balance of compromising. You could have been in a relationship where the person you were in a relationship, whether that was a business partner, a romantic situation, a family member or whatever, where one person had to win and the other person didn't. So every disagreement that you had, okay, it wasn't about coming together and working together and finding a nice compromise. It was kind of like one person wins and one person loses. And therefore, it's kind of like, I feel like you've encountered that so many times, the painful side of that. You could have been on the painful side of that, where somebody else was doing the choosing or the judging, and you were the one that was left out, right? And it's kind of like, because you have experienced that and healed that, you can now be a healer for other people, helping other people to understand that only causes more pain and hurt in our world, and that is not what our world needs at this time. That when we allow ourselves to bend a little bit, to see somebody else's point of view, where we don't judge somebody, but we embrace their uniqueness, right? Instead of judging people for how unique they are or their point of view, it's about embracing them and listening to them and giving their point of view some weight, right? Yeah, this is a beautiful, like, I honestly feel like if you've been thinking about some type of coaching or a spiritual business, a healer of any sort, it's time for you to step up, because this is the energy of understanding the Judgment card. This is part of your purpose because of what you have gone through. You have done that healing, and now you can be a healer for other people, helping other people to understand, okay? People perhaps that have been on the hurtful side of some type of situation where they were rejected, abandoned. They were the one not chosen, right? And understanding this isn't like everybody gets a trophy, okay? It's not that type of energy. It's about recognizing that everybody has some unique talent, gift, creative ability, a uniqueness to them, and being able to celebrate everybody's uniqueness and allowing that person's uniqueness to come to work with the uniqueness of other people. It's such a beautiful, like, spiritually aligned type of energy. Yeah, you have the Lovers here. Like, I feel like for some of you, you may have a romantic partner that's coming either onto your path or somebody that you are healing with at this time. That when the two of you come together, right? And maybe you went through some difficult times together, okay? But it's kind of like allowing yourself to heal that and then to share that about understanding, like, the difference of the energy of competing and feeling like one person had to win and the other person lost, right? And then going into a situation where it's kind of like, no, we can work together. It kind of reminds me, I'm a big fan of Little House on the Prairie. And, back then it was kind of like the women had certain roles and the men had certain roles. But you see today, I mean, my daughter is married and she and her husband, like, he enjoys cooking. 100 years ago, cooking was the woman's job. But he enjoys cooking. And she really and truly, she cooks and she will cook. And it's not that she refuses to cook, but she doesn't enjoy it nearly as much as her husband. But she does enjoy gardening and working out in the yard. Well, 100 years ago, that would have been the man's job, right? And it's kind of like understanding that they each have areas that are unique and special and that they enjoy, right? So it's kind of like allowing them to switch the roles. And I'm using something kind of trivial, but think about it in your situation, right? Understanding that people don't have to fit the exact expectations that we have based on that Capricornian energy. It's allowing people to shine their light in their own unique way and allowing them to use their unique talents and traits in order to have things work together. You know, whether it's a family, it's a business, it's a community, it's the globe, it doesn't matter. Let everybody shine their light in their own unique way and allow them to work with the other people. Okay, so let's see what you are helping, you are planting the seed to change the world. So Cancer, this, if you're not resonating with this, right, it may not be your reading, or it may be that you're still on that healing journey. This is for those of you that understand the difference, like have lived through being on the sense of being rejected or abandoned, not being the one chosen in some way, that understands how painful and hurtful that is, has done the healing around that you can love yourself, right? That you're not judging and critiquing yourself. That's part of it. When we've been in this society, then we've come into this energy of when we look in the mirror, we only see the flaws. This is about looking in the mirror, seeing the flaws and loving the flaws. Loving them because they make us unique, instead of comparing, like looking at the flaws and not liking the flaws, right? Yeah, this is just a beautiful energy of just true love, of just looking at situations from the sense of love and not fear. There's only fear and love. And this is the sense of, no, I'm going to look for the sweet in every flower and not look for the flaws of a flower. Or even if it has flaws, it's like, it's okay. That's what makes it so unique. Yes, I feel like, oh my goodness. For some of you, this is a romantic relationship or a very special soulmate, okay? And that does not have to be romantic. It could be family, it could be friends, it could be a boss or a business partner, but somebody, because we have the King and the Queen of Wands here. Okay, so the King and the Queen of Wands are spiritual leaders. So it is understanding that this is a spiritual lesson that you have gone through, that you are now being asked to go out and share with the world, right? To share your story, to share your love and light, to help people see. You know, this could be even, and once again, I know this isn't for everyone, but if you're resonating, this could be even coming back together with some soulmate, once again, romantic, family, friend, somebody that's near and dear to your heart though, and reuniting after a long time of separation. And the reason is to help inspire other people to say, yes, we had our differences, but now we're working together, right? We're coming back together. We have this sense, the Two of Cups, the healing, working together, understanding that what kind of took us apart was this energy of competition. We got caught up in what we didn't like about each other instead of focusing on what we did like about each other, about the love that was in the situation. This is kind of one of those situations, you know, when people get divorced because they're just like, oh, they're just on my nerves all the time, right? And it's kind of like, okay, but is there any good? It's about stopping and asking yourself before you go any further on your path, because you have the fork in the road, right? Before you go any further on your path, is there anything here that helps you to see the good, the love in a situation, right? Wow. This is just, yeah, oh my goodness. I mean, it's such a spiritual journey. It's allowing you to to use your intuition to guide you in the healing of either this situation or guide you as you move forward of understanding. Even if you don't want to get back together with somebody or reunite, Libra had the energy of just finding peace, right? It doesn't mean you have to reunite, but finding peace in a relationship that from the past, because you have the Six of Cups, right? So it could be even from childhood. Allowing yourself to close out a chapter in that relationship that was based on this and go forth in a situation of love. And whether you want to actually reunite with this person or you just want to close out that chapter, okay? And maybe that means having a conversation or making peace in some way in order to heal the energy of that relationship so that you can go forth in a beautiful way and inspire other people to see the love in. I mean, our planet definitely needs more love, right? And I feel like you and once again Libra, out of all the the readings I've done this week, are really being called to step up and to inspire others to look at the love in situations, right? Yeah, beautiful reading here. All right, let's pull a soul truth card for you. In Cancer, I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. How can I infuse more self-love and compassion into my daily life? Yes, it starts with us loving ourselves, right? Being able to look in the mirror and love who we are and the way that we show up in our relationships. Yeah, it's just a beautiful energy of loving ourselves and seeing the good in other people instead of seeing what isn't working, looking for what is working. Because when we focus on what is working and what we do like about people and situations, we manifest more of that, right? And you have the manifestation card. The more that we look for the good, the more good we'll see. All right. If your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. Choose one self-care action to do today. Set stronger boundaries. Speak to yourself with compassion. Focus on your strengths. Say no to something that isn't a soul yes, and say yes to something you are afraid of. Write down 3 things you are grateful for. I love all of those. And, this is that energy of truly, if you have been critical of yourself, because we've been caught up in this Capricornian energy of being very critical about other people, we sometimes can be very critical of ourselves. Making sure that you're speaking kindly to yourself. You're showering yourself with loving thoughts and really and truly embracing the beautiful uniqueness and loving soul that you are. All right, Cancer, I'm going to leave it there. I wish you so much love and light, and I really love you. Thank you so much for all of your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I hope to see you again really soon. Much love and light. Bye for now.